What's up, guys? This is the Roundtable Podcast pop-up. And guys, I'm here, Antonio Bushell, coming to you with a pop-up, it's so much just going on in the news. I go on YouTube, right? And when you go into your channel, for those that don't know, you have a screen, a sidebar that will pop up, and it will be everything in there to subscription, history. But if you go down, you see this thing called news, and I click on it. You can just look through that and that side, that tab, click on it, and it'll take you to your local news or just news all over. So you see everything that's going on, right? But I guess I said that to say this particular time, I guess, and this was, I want to say Saturday night. Saturday night. And I seen this, little tape, video. Obviously seen the police. I said, here we go again. What is this all about, right? And guys, there we go again. Another situation, cop moment. We know how it goes. we know the scenario. We know the storyline. It's the brother. He's always on the ground. The cop is always on top of him and beating him in his head. The same layout, same routine, and that's how I have to address this. The same routine, same thing. He's resisting, but yet he's unconscious, but yet he's resisting. I don't understand this. I'm going to play the video, and let's look at the video. Guys, you see the cop, he's obviously seems to be enjoying what he's doing. I don't know, right? And he tells the driver that he bit me. This is like a kid game. And I'm not laughing at what happened. I'm laughing at this cowardness, this cowardness. And the brother, the cop, the black cop, he seemed like he just don't have a clue to what's going on. He don't have a clue. I got the remote because I was trying to find, trying to pull it back up again because I don't know what happened. But, I've seen the video so many times I could just talk about it, and the fact remains that they're saying he's biting me. Well, won't you get off of him? Then he won't be biting you. You know what I mean? He's doing this. He's not resisting. He's not resisting. The man is just laying there, and the other guy is bodying him. He's laying on top of him. The other cop, and the other cop is on top of him, socking. What is going on? What is going on with the mental? At one point, it's almost like, it's almost like you're trying to kill this guy. I don't know. And it's not happening, this was just terrible. They fired him. I heard they fired the cop. All three of them should be fired for one, because one is allowing the other one to do. Are you scared as a cop of your fellow cop? What is it? You know what I mean? Because it's obviously that this guy is not resisting. Okay, as soon as we got him on the ground and he said, hey, I'm cool, man, I'm cool. They should have let him go handcuffed. There's two of you. You can't handcuff this guy and put him in the back of the car. I mean, what is it that you can't do? Or what is it that you want to do? You feel me? What is it that you really want to do? Because I don't understand what you're doing. You're hitting this guy. How do you, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And now look at this guy's eye. You know, this is the end result. You know, I think he has some warrants or something. And that maybe, you know, allegedly, I'm not sure. Allegedly, I heard something about some warrants, but I seen this guy unconscious twice. It's like he went in and out. They patting him on the stomach on another one. Like it was, I mean, the pat on his stomach didn't make sense either. I don't know. Guys, I don't even want to start to become throwing out some theories. But what do you think about this? You know, why is it ongoing? You know, why is it so ongoing? Guys, listen, before I forget, I'm forgetting to say it, but this is a pop-up. What we talk about, I just talk about random things that's going on in the news and maybe, you know, take a look at it, you know, for our pop-up or whatever, or what we talked about in the previous podcast on Sunday, which we come on Sunday, 4:30ish. You can tune in on Sundays. We also come on YouTube as well as what is that? We have IG. Obviously, it's coming on Facebook. It just, I mean, check us out. It's on the picture here, but at the same time, for those who watching or hearing me by radio or podcast via Spotify or Anchor, you can go to at the Roundtable Podcast Official. So you got to put in at the Roundtable Podcast Official. And that's whether it be on our YouTube page, Facebook page, or what have you. Yeah, it's just wow, that's terrible. I was looking at this other video.
A Baltimore police officer resigned after disturbing video surfaced of him beating a man on the street. Cell phone video captured the unidentified officer repeatedly hitting Deshaun McGreer Saturday. The second officer in the video was placed on administrative duties. Errol Barnett is outside police headquarters.
Angry, and this is the time to take it out, because how do you fight somebody so strong like that that's not even fighting you back? I mean, this video I'm looking at, it's terrible. It's terrible. I mean, that was terrible. That was worse than some of these white boys out here shooting these cops. We keep it real on this show. Black, no matter who you are. You know, we say your name, your color, whatever. We might put you out there. But I'm just saying, guys, you know, this incident that happened, and I'm going to show you what I am looking at, so that you would see, because it makes sense. It's a black cop. He beat the lights out of this other black guy. I mean, and it was just because of some words. I mean, he was beating this guy like crazy. He's in Baltimore. They should fire him just like they fire all the other cops. It don't matter if you're a black cop or you're a white cop. They need to fire you if you're a wrong cop, you know. And you know, every cop is not bad, and that I really believe that. You know, if it's not the case, we're in trouble. So we want to hope that every cop is not bad. I have to say that to myself. Every cop is not bad. And it's true. It's not. Every cop is not bad. You know, so I don't even want to put that out there. But my thing is that, you know, does anything ring a bell in your head as a cop to say that, as I have the power to control this, and where this thing don't just go out of hand. I can control what happens here. So I'm not going to allow it to escalate. I mean, unless you're taking your problems to work. Is this a psychological situation now that we're dealing with? What is it? Is this a psychological situation that we're dealing with? Because now it's like all this burst of anger just comes out, and I'm just releasing it on this person. My day, because of my day. Now I'm going to release it out on this individual by just socking them, punching them, and all of this, and how I don't know what's going on in your mind, but as you're swinging, what's going on? What led off to this fight that seemed like, when you was in school and somebody was saying something to you all week, and now this build up, we're talking about instantly. You get this angry, or something else going wrong. Something else is going on that's wrong in your life. It has to be, because the anger that you're taking out on that person shows that it's something else. Even if he say call you pig, is that gonna be? Is it that who said it, or those 3,000 people who might have said it now as a build up, and you just taking it out on that person? I mean, it becomes just ludicrous, It does, I mean, you see the pictures here, but see, now look at this video here where it's showing, and this just happened in the news in LA.
We begin, George, with that urgent search right now for the gunman who shot 2 Los Angeles sheriff's deputies in an ambush. The brazen shooting captured on a surveillance camera. Our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, joins us now from Los Angeles with the very latest on that. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Amy. Both of those deputies are now recovering after surgery at this hospital behind me. They're now in stable condition. Both of them were shot in the face in that brazen attack you just mentioned. Now, overnight, the LA County Sheriff telling me he has every available resource thrown into trying to apprehend that gunman, including the assistance of the FBI. This morning, that massive manhunt for the gunman who ambushed 2 Los Angeles sheriff's deputies walking up to their cruiser and unloading multiple rounds before fleeing on foot.
Stand by for a GSW, be a deputy involved at the blue line.
One deputy was hit 4 or 5 times. The other one was hit at least 3 times. So it was quite a few rounds.
The deputies, a 31-year-old mother of a 6-year-old and a 24-year-old, were both sworn in only 14 months ago. And somehow, though shot through the jaw, the female deputy tends to her partner.
And she goes around the car, applies a tourniquet to him to stop the bleeding. She gets on the radio and she's calling for help, but she's having a hard time because she can't speak very well. So you can hear the voice of that.
They're both rushed to the hospital in critical condition.
Your patient was transported by sheriffs en route to local trauma center.
Protesters gathering at the hospital to heckle the deputies. One protester live streaming the event. Protesters heard taunting the injured deputies. Tensions have been soaring in South LA since sheriff's deputies shot and killed this man, Dijon Kizzy, on August 31st.
They don't know who this person is who actually shot those cops. Whoever he was short though. Can you tell? He had to pick the gun up and put it over the window and shoot. And then the way he ran up the street, it was kind of questionable too. It's a little odd there. I guess I'm saying that, we don't know who it was that shot those cops, and because we don't know, you could tell us anything. Come on, people. We have to wake up, and we have to understand that there's a people out there who wants war, who want to destroy this country inwardly, not outwardly, but inwardly. You know, I heard this person say the method to this madness is always a problem, reaction, solution. Yeah, a problem, reaction, solution. What does that mean? The people that you don't think who is causing this to happen are the ones that's making these problems happen. They are causing these problems. Problem, reaction, meaning what happens after we do this. People are becoming afraid now. They're becoming afraid. You know, they're feeling unsafe. We need somebody to step in to help. And the same person that caused it is the same person is bringing the solution. Called problem, reaction, response. That's what it is. Solution or response. You know. So we don't know who was in that. And I don't know. But we don't know who was actually, who shot those police officers. You know, because they wasn't caught there on the scene at the time, and they got it. So we don't know. And the way the camera was set, it just had to be a blurry camera. We don't have HD anymore in our cameras. You know what I mean? And it was black and white. You get what I mean? We don't know, guys. I'm just saying, we don't know. You know, condolences to their family. That's terrible what happened, and whoever did it needs to pay. Seriously, because that was cold-blooded murder. That was an animal. You know, you are an animal, whoever did that. You know, that was terrible. You know, because, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear this because of the way it was driven out by the party, but in that sense, all lives do matter. You get what I'm saying? Black lives matter, but all lives do matter. Everybody's lives matter, you know, and I guess that's what I'm saying. Now, I'm not for taking someone's life unjustifiably, or unjustifiably, or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. Don't particularly believe in that. Particularly, my speech is jacked today, but you know, that's what I'm saying, guys. You know, and I came up with a remedy. If you want, listen, I came up with a solution to this situation in terms of a way to deal with the police brutality. You know what I mean? I came up with a way, and I talked about it on the podcast. If you want to see it in depth, go to our last podcast, and you can see us. We talked about a couple of things, but that was a heated discussion there. You know, because just go check it out. You really will like it. But anyway, you know, I came up with this idea. You know, me being who I am, came up with this idea. What if, you know, trying to find a way to make this work with the relationships of the officers as well as the persons that they're coming in contact with, being African American men. So, you know, I came up with this idea, and guys, I don't care. You could take it. I've said it a couple of times. You can take the idea if you have the ability to do it. I just care that it gets done. You know, maybe it's a help. Okay, and what is that? Okay, so, you know, if you know the case that happened in the Rochester, New York case, that Clayton County, obviously, George Floyd. I mean, all these different cases. But what I'm saying is, okay, so speaking more towards the Rochester case, where they seem to show a sign of mental health issues going on there. I mean, the guy he didn't have any clothes on in the middle of the street in the rain. I think it was raining or wet. I don't know. I mean, but this guy, I mean, you know, he was talking crazy, doing a lot of spitting, so they say. They put the bag over his head because they couldn't understand what was going on. Or they really didn't care. They were just here to apprehend this guy because this is what the law requires. If we got to take him out, hey, that's just doing our job. You get what I mean? So that mentality. So if we had a cam on the officer, yep, you have to be a RoboCop. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they don't weigh that much, you know. But you have just like you have the body cam on that they wear, they will have the body cam. But this time, this body cam will actually go live. You know, they will actually, it was set on them just like the, you know, the regular cam, whatever, wherever that is. It was set in the same place so that they can see in front of the officer. You know what I mean? So, and I mean, just say, I'm talking about the software first. And the body cam, you know, is good in light, night, it doesn't matter. But here's the thing. There's a social worker that's in that cam who can talk either to the situation at hand, meaning if they can talk to, well, maybe they don't have to necessarily talk to the person that's involved, meaning whoever the victim is, or, you know, the crime that's been committed, whatever, the patron, you know what I'm saying, the civilian, you know. So I guess what I'm saying is that this cam will help the officer to make sure that nothing ever escalates. You feel me? The best that they can, that nothing ever escalates. So what am I saying? Let's take the New York situation where the officer has his cam on, maybe, I don't know. Okay, so, and maybe it only requires one or two, maybe just one, to have their cam on that live, depending on how many officers are there. You know what I mean? As long as one or two are on. Okay, so, but anyway, what if the officer had that live cam and they walked up to the gentleman, but the social worker or counselor can look at it and can help assess the mental of this person to say right then and there what's going on and give you some ideas on how to reduce this situation, even if it was to call a loved one. He don't get out of the circle, you know, even if he was to call a loved one, so that loved one, that they can see who can pick them up, help them, and if they need to, you know, I mean, whatever it takes. You know, but what I'm saying is that that's what that body cam would be there for, to help assist the officer in terms of each case that can go from 0 to 100 within seconds if it's not assessed right. And you get what I mean? So, but now here's the other aspect of it. Now, that's the software. The software will be connected to the cam that links back to, software that you download from your computer or app, whatever. And it can actually talk through the camera, or it can get plugged in. The officer can wear it in their ear, his or her ear. It can hear, so they can hear the other person on the other side of the camera. This is actual live footage, you know, to assess what's going on and give some sort of recommendation, maybe even if it's, I mean, whatever the situation may be, but is there to make sure you're not being the prosecutor, judge, you know, lawyer, you know what I mean, sentence or whatever, you know what I mean. So I'm saying, and that's why it will be needed. Now, they will all be, it could be a company that will pick up this because they have social workers who have the ability to talk to cops or those people that are distressed, or just making sure that the cops don't allow this thing to escalate, because you don't know who you're talking to. You know what I mean? And those social workers will be there on standby. Maybe it can be granted out, maybe or contract out. The government can do that for companies. And now, the reason why I use the word even after, what's going on now with this virus and everything, everybody is zooming in anyway, right? But I'm saying that at the same time, this can even be cost effective, where it's not high liability. You know what I mean? In terms of the workers not riding with them in the car. Because I know some people, we post a point of that. You can actually see that on the podcast. But I just came to say that, it can help out because the something got my attention. But yeah, it can help out. It can help out, because it's cost effective, meaning you have a budget already set up to say this is what the bid, put it out as a bid. Those companies have to have those the apparatus to allow these things to happen. The apparatus, I believe, the equipment to do the job, the equipment to do the job. And that's, and that's all they would need. They take care of their own insurance. So now the government don't have to insure anyone. All the government have to do is make sure that payment is there. They do all the rest. You understand? And they will do it for police departments. That's a great idea, I think. At least it's an idea. Now, here's the other part of it. It's mandatory that they have to, whoever the situation is dealing with, they have to have a Latina counselors, African American counselor, or I don't like to say African American, but Black counselors, Caucasian counselors, you name it. They have those counselors available and to help in these situations. Now, another reason why I don't really think that they should ride with them in the car is because sometimes you can build a relationship with that person, especially if you're riding or seeing them enough, where you begin to understand who they are, and maybe you would kind of like favor them over this situation. You get what I mean? And now you're standing up for that cop, and that's solidifying that what happened is actually really true. You get what I mean? So, and so on the other side, it makes the cop more reliable or responsible because there's a licensed counselor with you at the time to help or to give you some advice that you didn't take. So now, and I know it has to be more so. You just can't say he didn't take this advice. I know the police officer said, well, at this time I didn't see it through that lens, so it probably have to be flushed out or whatever. But it's still a good idea that's holding cops accountable and is talking actually with that person. And maybe they need to see that person where the screen will come in and the counselor's right there to try to assist in that situation. You know what I mean? I just think that it should be, because if I'm a police officer and I'm more used to being more physical than mental towards it, you know what I mean? I'm not focused on this person. I know I have to assess the scene, behavior, but they looking, if you're gonna pull a gun, I get that. But sometimes that's not the norm where they just have to grab somebody or they fighting or they, get what I mean? There's always some action involved. They could say later for this other piece. See that, and when you're doing that so much, that becomes a habit. So you don't notice that this person actually has the problem. That you get what I mean? And you can't diagnose it because you're not a social work counselor, So that's why I'm thinking that this is a good idea and somebody should pick it up and run with it. It can be a help. And I guess governments should start looking at those type of ways. Now, or maybe, those cops should at least get, it's mandatory that they have to see social work or whoever, psychiatrist or whatever. And I mean, it's just part of the job, not because they have mental health issues, but maybe they need to get something off their chest. They have to see them at least once a week. They have to literally go there. That's another contract that somebody can pick up, that they can say, oh, wait a minute, I got that type of degree. You know what? I'm going to set that up, you know, and I'll charge this amount of money, you know, because sometimes they need to de-stress. You know, they're working so hard, trying to provide, trying to keep a mental control or professionalism. You know how it goes. The violence, the pushing, the shoving, the being cussed out. That's tension. You know, so I understand that if that's what's happening to you every day, maybe not every day, but a whole lot. Well, you need to relax. You need to just get it out. Don't take it out on the person who says it, and now you're taking it out on them because they wasn't there to cause it. It was just a build up, and now you built it up on that person. I mean, I'm not saying this is what's going on, but I'm saying you at least be able to weed out. Now, here's the other thing. I believe even in doing this, you probably can weed out those really bad apples because of the way they think. They will break sooner or later if they constantly go on to counsel. And because one day it can just be bothering them and they just get a lot out on their mind. You get what I mean? And maybe you need to be like, okay, check. Let me keep my eye on this one. You know what I mean? So it can be even in the favor. I mean, look how much money or property is being damaged from these situations. It's not just firing the cop. You know, there's a lot of loss that goes involved in when this thing happens. A lot of money has been spent out, you know, lawyers, legals, property damage, insurance claims, you know, a whole lot. Fire damage. I mean, it's, you know, even city taxes. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. You got to take a closer look at this situation and not just put a bandage on it. You know what I mean? I don't know, guys. You know, it's me talking. You know, there's some things that was on my mind I needed to talk about concerning what's going on out here. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some people out here, man, who wants to do some evil stuff. You know, I just believe that. It's this all coincidence? I mean, that these things are happening back to back, or just maybe they've been taped more. You know what I mean? More people thank God for cameras, right? Thank you, God. Thank you for cameras, because without cameras, some of these cases wouldn't have a chance. It'll just be everyday work. And see, okay. So let's look at this video again. You know, see, my thing is that it's been done so much. It's been the norm for so many years to do what you want out there in those streets. Cops, talking about cops. Do what you want. You run these streets. You show these punks that your law is what's up, not you. I'm so used to that mentality. You know what I mean? Where now I'm socking, fighting, you know, and they're so used to it, they forget that there's somebody's watching you now. You know, so somebody's watching you now. They're doing this while you're being who you used to being, you know, out in those streets. You know, at home your name is John, you know, Stevenson, you know, in those streets, you know, you J-boy, cop, you J-boy. They call you J-boy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, but now, see, with these cameras, that change. That changes the game. Because, see, I can see what's going on in real time. See, that's the thing. If it's live, I can see what's going on in real time. You know? Yeah. These, you know, they can be the best of us or the cursed of us. You know, these can be good or bad. You know, but I mean, that's what's going on. I mean, that's what's going on. You know, they surveillance themselves now. Not everybody's gonna be surveillance. Now, they gonna have fun. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible without those cameras. Where would things be? You know. And these companies aren't changing. They're making the cameras even more clear. But let's tighten up this real quick so they can really see. You know, they can zoom in and it won't be distorted. You get what I mean? I mean, you know, yeah, you don't need no cameras anymore. You have a cell phone, you know. They making them better. They want that shot to be clear. You know, hey, more power to you, you know. I mean, guys, we got to be careful out here. We have to watch what we're doing. You're being surveillanced now, good and bad. Don't matter anymore. So you can't always think you can be that person that you're really not, or you're pretending to be. Incognito or something? You know, nah, that's not gonna fly anymore. Well, guys, anyway, you know, check us out on the Roundtable Podcast. I'm out of here. Just rambling. I'll do a pop-up whenever I feel like it. And you guys check it out and tell us what you think. Check us out on our podcast. We're on Spotify. The audio will be on Spotify. You just have to pull in the Roundtable at the Roundtable Podcast official. You can pull us up on Anchor, the Roundtable Podcast, and there's a couple of more out there because that's what this audio will be sent to, and the video, obviously, you're watching it now. So, guys, I love you. Stay safe. You know, if life really means something to you, then make it matters. You know what I mean? I'll talk to you soon.